Welcome back to another beautiful day in the land of music. My name is Douglas, and in today's video, I'm going to talk about and show you how to use the maudio Hammer 88 Pro without a DAW. So maybe you want to learn how to play piano, maybe you already play, and you want to get an 88 key keyboard. On one side of the spectrum, you've got digital pianos with a dozen, 2 dozen sounds. You have workstations, which are really expensive, but give you a ton of capability, the ability to record, have thousands of sounds. And then on the other side of the spectrum, you have controllers like the Hammer 88 Pro. Now, with a controller, you don't get speakers, you don't get built-in sounds, but what you do get is the ability to control, and in a great level of detail, especially on the Hammer 88 Pro, you get faders, knobs, pads, keys, everything you would need to control your computer or another keyboard, sound module, whatever you're controlling, but it gives you the ability to grow as a musician. It opens up those gates. It opens up the possibility to start learning computer recording, to take what you're playing, record it onto the computer, and a controller gives you that ability. Now, the great thing with the Hammer 88 Pro is it comes included with some virtual instruments that can be used standalone, meaning you don't need a DAW like Pro Tools or Cubase or anything like that to use these virtual instruments. You get a piano, electric piano, and then a synth engine, all usable without needing to open up a DAW. You can open up these standalone plugins or virtual instruments, and you can control those with the Hammer 88 Pro. Now, what I've done is I've just simply plugged my Hammer 88 Pro with a USB cable into my laptop. Then I've got my headphones plugged into the laptop as well, and that is as simple as my setup is. I've got a music stand here, so if all I want to do is jam, I plug it in, I can open up the standalone piano and get right to work. So let's jump over to the computer. I want to show you what's included with the Hammer 88 Pro, what it comes with for those standalone virtual instruments, how to open them up and download them if you haven't, and then just play a little bit of each of the virtual instruments, show you kind of the presets, what it comes with, what your abilities are around there, and it doesn't stop there. You could buy or download, there's tons of free virtual instruments, and you can go and buy thousands and thousands of virtual instruments. So essentially, for $800, you're able to get the Hammer 88 Pro, some virtual instruments to get you started that you don't need a DAW for, and then it opens up the possibility to start learning some of the computer side of music production. So over here on the computer, I've already registered my controller and I've downloaded the maudio software manager. Let's go ahead and open that up. And it's going to open up the software manager, and this is the same whether you have the Oxygen Pro line or the Hammer 88 Pro. And right up at the top here, you'll see there are 3 instruments: Hybrid 3, Mini Grand, and Velvet. So Hybrid 3 is the synth engine, Mini Grand is the piano, and Velvet is the electric piano. Now, I've downloaded and installed all 3 of these, but these are the 3 standalone instruments that come with the controller. Once you've downloaded and installed them, you'll see different buttons if you haven't. But all you need to do is click the open button, and it's going to launch, in this case, the Mini Grand virtual instrument. Now we're gonna let this load. It says loading right here, and you see there's a little red progress bar. Once that's loaded, you'll see we have access to some settings up here on the piano, but we also have, if we click on this default list, we have a ton of presets that we can go click through that are built for us. We've got a lot of different options around the piano. So let's just play the piano as it comes just by opening up the Mini Grand plugin. Now, honestly, to me, that piano sounds decent, especially for being free. And so what we can do is we can pick different presets and try these out. Let's grab the soft piano. We could sift through these with the back and the next button. Let's go down and do light ambiance. So just like that, I can jump right in, start playing. Very easy. It doesn't really get in the way. If I'm feeling inspired or creative, I can just open that up and run with it without having to set up an audio interface or anything like that. I also have access to 30 presets here that I can sift through, or I can customize my own with controls up at the top. And that's just the piano virtual instrument. We've got electric piano. So if I close this, and then I go to my Velvet, which is the electric piano, it's going to launch the Velvet virtual instrument. We're going to let that load, and let's try this out. Now, there are a ton of settings here on the electric piano. I am not an expert when it comes to electric pianos, but thankfully, we can click on the default text and open up the menu. And there are a ton. There are 70 presets of the Mark I. There are 70 of the Mark II. Actually, it looks like there's 70 under each of these. There are a ton of different presets for the electric piano. So we can just grab, let's go under Mark II and just grab Funky here. Again, you can play with the settings, you can play with the presets, and I could spend a lot of time just messing around with these sounds here. Again, this is included for free with the maudio Hammer 88 Pro. Then let's open up the Hybrid 3 synth engine. So this synth engine has a ton of presets. There are 23 different categories and just a ton of presets under each category. If we grab, let's say, a moving pad, let's do floater. I'm just grabbing a preset at random here. You could go through one by one of these presets and just keep going. And then what's really cool about the Hammer 88 Pro is it comes with this preset button on the front panel. And maudio has actually included presets for the knobs and some of the controls on the controller to control the virtual instruments for the Mini Grand, the Hybrid Synth, and the Velvet electric piano. So you can call up that preset and instantly all of the controls on the Hammer 88 Pro are mapped to the various controls in the virtual instrument. That is super cool. It allows you, again, to not have to go in and set things up by yourself. It just comes with that, the ability to have all of the presets and all of these sounds available to you for free with the Hammer 88 Pro. So I did want to address one thing, and that is audio latency. So sometimes if your computer's on the slower side, maybe it's an older computer, plugging the controller into the computer with the USB, you're going to get a little bit of latency or lag between when you press the note and when the sound occurs. And that was not a very attractive sound there. Let's find another one. There we go. So the time between when you press the key and when you hear the sound, if you don't have a good audio card, sometimes you'll have latency there between when the computer registers the note and it plays you the sound. If you're running into that issue, you can pick up an audio interface for really not that much. I have the Scarlett 8i6. They make much smaller versions of this. This interface works flawlessly for me. So if you're just getting into music and you want an audio interface that maybe has one microphone port on it, go ahead and get like the Scarlett 2i2. Pretty cheap, and it's going to give you not only a faster audio interface, which is going to reduce that audio latency, but it's also going to give you the ability to plug a microphone in, plug headphones in, and control it with a little bit more depth than you can just using your computer's audio card. So I hope that helps. If you've got questions around this, if you've got a specific scenario, because everyone's got a different scenario, right? A different reason they're buying a controller or a keyboard. And so if you've got questions, throw them in the comments below. I'm happy to talk through it with you, figure out if the Hammer 88 Pro is a good option for you, or maybe it's not. There may be a better option for you. Maybe you don't want to touch a computer. You want to have a digital piano with 12 piano sounds on it, speakers in it. You want to turn it on and go. That's great. There's definitely a place for that, but there's also a place for an 88 key controller like the Hammer 88 Pro and the ability to continue to grow and expand. If you're interested in getting into computer recording or anything like that, gives you the ability to expand and not limit yourself by the sounds that are built in to the piano. So I hope this was helpful for you. Again, let me know if you've got questions. Smash that like button. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any of the future videos coming out, because we've got some great ones coming right up in the next few weeks. Thanks for watching. Stay inspired and keep making that music.